Yeah, why me, babe?
So, this is an easy question for me. I think that when you ask any man, I think that when a man comes to the point to where he wants to spend the rest of his life with someone, it's actually multiple things, and it's not one thing that you can actually explain. So I can't give you a definite answer and say it was this, it was this, it was that, but I can just tell you, just as we build collectively, there were so many things that I didn't want to lose. So when you have more to lose than to gain when you're dealing with the opposite sex, then you know it's time to settle down and become a husband, find a wife, things like that. Yep.
Studio Live. 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 You are tuned in to Studio Live. Studio Live. Studio Live.
You know, the one thing I want to get across, I think that with the accessibility of Pro Tools or Logic or the equipment that's out there, anybody can go buy it. So we can all, you can go buy everything that I got, and you can take it home and you can record yourself.
When I'm sitting in this chair, I'm first listening to the music and I'm enjoying it. And it goes as far as even the bad versions of the music, right? I'll sit here and I'll bob like crazy, but then what that does is it translates into my brain as what feel I'm getting from it. And then that then communicates to me what I should do in the mix and with the vocals and things like that for me to get it to where it needs to be, for it to communicate what I'm feeling.
When you talk about artist development, it always starts with how passionate are they about it. You know, I think as a producer, the worst thing you can do is, or the worst feeling is working with somebody and then you look up, you know, a couple months later and they nowhere to be found.
That if you just focus on being an artist and let the people that want to be an engineer your music properly, and there's no cutting corners, I think we'll get not better results in the sound. Sometimes if you're out there and you're recording yourself and it might not be, you know, the best in quality, then and you put that out there, let's say you got fans off what you're doing, I think that's more dangerous than anything, because now those fans have a lesser standard.
I just want to tell you, as anybody that's ever mixed down anything and you really enjoy it, you'll never be satisfied. You'll never be satisfied, but that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that satisfaction. You're looking for that. Yeah, I mean, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that satisfaction.
I can do the 7, and then you and D-Mac can do those 2. You got the. This is a 10 to 2. This is a 4-hour.
Okay.
And then this is a 10 to 12, which will get D-Mac out of here about 12:30 so he can go home.
Yeah, sure. That'll work.
Cool.
This is wonderful. I ate it all. I'm trying to see if somebody got some more. Can I get some of y'all? I just want one leg, bro. Who is that right there?
Me a leg.
That's that G?
I ain't touching. You ain't touching him.
You not eating them?
Tuck him.
Well, as you can see, we have stingy people in the game, but it's okay.
He had the chance to get that too. He took it down.
Oh, okay.
He could run it down. He said,
so-
nah, I need that one.
All in, that's our first hit. It got 8
Lost.
million. Lost. 8 million streams, views, all of that. We recorded that in BFM Studio, and at first, that was our first song. We actually tried this style that we got now. Like, we was like, all right, we don't really gotta think too hard. We ain't gotta do no hook. We just gonna go in and just
do what we do.
Do whatever we want to do. And so I remember Brace was like, man, bring that back as the hook, man. Bring it back as the hook.
It's supposed to be a hook, man.
And we like,
it's a hook. Nah, bro, we just kicking it. We having fun, bro.
Brace used to argue with us every day. Every time we get to the studio, man.
Man, y'all supposed to do that, man. I'm talking about y'all need this mix, man. That need to be mixed, bro. No,
we put it out. We put out the music. You know what I'm saying?
Go
Bryce
crazy.
called us. You're like, man, I ain't even know, bro. Y'all really proved me wrong.
Hey, what was his favorite thing? Y'all play this in the club. The
y'all play this in the club. It's going.
The speakers gonna bust.
Damn.
where did time go? Go. You want bread, bitch, I want the whole flow. The whole loaf. And it's winter, let me put on my coat.
If you listen close, you hear that they're not really mumbling and they're saying a whole lot, but you have to listen a certain way. And when you hear it, it blows you away. I can appreciate it so much because when I hear some of it, not all of it, but some of it, I'm like, these dudes is just are crazy with how they are so creative with the way that they're able to express themselves in words and lyricism, but do it in a way where they now make the sound the music. The way they say the words is the music on top of what they're saying. And if you don't listen right, you'll miss it, and it's just not for you.
Now we all one unit. You know, he a mix for us. We need a beat. We need something done. We all work all together. So the sound that you hear, whether you hear Zay in them, whether you hear Bankroll Freddy, whether you hear something coming up out of Cincy Molly or something coming out of Gutter Studio, we all kind of delivering a great product at this point.
We ain't gonna throw no slick shots, but we was at other studios that was,
and they just wasn't getting it.
They wasn't giving us the sound, what I'm saying? They wasn't giving us sound and nobody believed in what was going on, so.
But Brace.
But we met Brace, man. By the grace of God, we met Brace.
He got us right. He believed in us.
And he believed in us. He gave us a few deals here and there to get us where we need to be. And here we are now, bought a whole studio with us.
Jump out the spot, like checking the box, I need a loop-de-loop.
Sometimes you just gotta be quiet and listen. It's not about what I've learned over the years and what I'm learning on the technical side, but it's more so what they want, and High Def Gang as a unit is a perfect example of that. I remember recording one of their biggest records, All In, and man, we really had like a back and forth argument about the record. I wanted them to put a hook on the record. They was looking at me like I'm the old dude in the room. Like they was really like, Brace, just push the buttons, bro, we good. JG came to the studio and he listened to the song and then he tapped me on my shoulder. He said, Brace, let them do what they do. And the song growed and went crazy, and it was one of their bigger records. And I remember calling Zay after seeing the response and literally apologizing and just saying like I was wrong.
With him being someone that used to play professional sports, he has that competitive nature to where, that's good. Hey, what else can we do to try to improve that? Hey, that sounds good, but hey, why did you want to do that? You know, he's asked me things, and like I said, I've only been doing this a couple of years. He's been doing this for way longer than I have, and he'll still ask me things. So that just lets me know that number one, you're never finished learning, and number two, that you just, like I said, you just have to be humble about a lot of things. So yeah, working with him is just, it's really an ease. Definitely like a big brother to me already. With all the things that he's already shown me.
When I first met him, he had in college. He told me he had a studio in his dorm room. When we were living in an apartment, he had a studio in there. When we moved into our house prior to this one, he had a studio outside in the shed, and then a studio behind his house. So I was like, oh my God, like he don't care where he do music as long as he do it. So when I saw him doing that, I'm like, wow, like this guy is determined to be the best engineer. So like, that's what I saw in him, and just the potential to be great. So we're still here today. How about that?
Every day, I have to fight to prove my love. Every day.
That's okay. You're a fighter.
I wouldn't call this the birth of BFM Studio, but this room right here is where the clientele really picked up, and as far as the city of Little Rock and the state of Arkansas, I started to get a little notoriety for what I was doing. And so now I come out here and just reflect. You know what I mean? I look around sometimes. I leave this here because it reminds me of my football career. I had a good college career, and I started my professional career with Green Bay. It didn't work out. I moved on to Canada, played a few years, and ultimately it didn't work out. And a lot of people consider that as failure because you know, the notoriety didn't come with it. But again, I did something that a lot of people try to do, and I was able to do that. So I look over here, and sometimes I see, you know, lost potential because I had the talent, I had the speed, I had the size, the education wasn't there, and just the potential was lost. Then I come over here and I look on this side of the room and I look at the success of what I've done musically. You know, you got A&P, you got Ray J, you got Rocco, you got Key Glock, that's DJ No Name. Yeah, so, and there's a lot of the who's who of Lil Rock. That's Lil JJ. So things like that, and this is just kind of the birth of BFM as far as if we talking locally. It's a funny story. Like you think of the NFL, the letters is very powerful, but I literally look at it and see not for long. You know what I mean? And it doesn't last forever. And mine was short-lived, but you know what I mean? I think I said this before, is something that I'm proud of because a lot of people don't get to do it. So the situation with playing professional football, you can, you know, you want to rise, right? And when you get to a stone wall, you either gonna go down, you know what I mean? And like we talked about it being failure, or for me, I tend to step aside and then keep going forward and try my best to go up. I learned a lot, and through it all, I think family is way more important.
You want me to start?
I'd like her to start.
Oh.
She speaks so eloquently.
Well, this has been a journey. So I was talking to Brace the other day, and I told him a little bit that I believe since you started working here, this has been therapy for our family and our home. And just a little backstory, Rico, my husband, met Brace about in June, the end of June. And that's when he started working at BFM Studios. And about a month prior is when we lost our daughter. She passed away. So it was kind of like a weird moment to start working so heavily. He has a full-time job and doing this. But I didn't know what to expect as far as what BFM Studios would mean for our family, what that would look like. I thought it was time away when we needed to stay together. We just went through probably the most tragic time of our lives. But it's been amazing. It's been beautiful because it's been therapy, I believe, like for you. And even for me to see you dive so heavily into something that you love and just focus your energy on something like positive other than just like sitting in the sadness of it all. What do you think?
I agree. I think, not actively, I never sought it out as that. I think it just, you know, a guy tends to become busy whenever trauma happens. So I think that's been my process. Not that I haven't dealt with it. We've been to therapy, and we've dealt with it together. We talk about it often, maybe not as often as we used to. But what really is a blessing for me is that my wife comes here very often. She is either in that room working on her YouTube videos, or she's in here sitting alongside me. I think I'm the only one who really has my wife here like consistently.
Yeah.
Everyone knows her. They're not surprised to see her anymore. And I remember when she first used to come here, they used to be like, "Are you an artist or something?" You know, they didn't know. But now there's no doubt who she's with, why she's here, and that she belongs. It's really awesome.
Beef is at the Crystal Palace. I think it was Friday. Could have been Saturday. Keep talking this bullshit. I just need to add it.
Punch in.
Keep this.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, America.
Dolo got a real unique way of recording.
My nigga threw it, he from Cali. Met him in Memphis at the Crystal Palace. I think it was Friday, could have been Saturday. Keep talking this plus shit, I just need to add it. He drop him on Thursday. One more time. Friday could have been Saturday. Keep talking this plus shit, I just need to add it. He drop him on Thursday, they send me a track and they landed on Saturday. My little big go grab it. He give me like 2 weeks, he needed a little package. Yeah. Could have been Saturday. Keep talking this bullshit, I just need to add it. He drop him on Thursday, they send me a track and they landed on Saturday. My little big go grab it. He give me like 2 weeks, he needed a little package. This nigga thug, he straight out the mud. This nigga from Bumpton, they call him Big Blood. We 6 months in, they still coming in. Dang grew a pre-roll, moon rocks and pins. I broke this shit down and split it with my friend. Never met business with family again. We like a year and 6 months.
Nigga been doing that rap shit, like, it's just like, could come from where we from and shit, like, you know, we from Arkansas, so, you know, too many people don't get the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to be heard. Like, the rap shit was the biggest thing ever happened to a nigga, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to go through a lot of shit, like, lost a lot of people in the streets and shit, so, like, it was one of the ways a nigga can express himself. It was one of the first ways I can express myself fucking around in the studio. So I was like, shit, fuck it, like, I'm gonna do this shit, like, I'm gonna do it, like, you know what I'm saying, it relief for niggas. So, like, shit, we just took it serious, the streets fuck with it, the people fuck with it, so, like, niggas just keep that shit going, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you have some people might say, it ain't good music, they don't like it, but, like, do you know what I'm saying, like, if you wanna do the music, you know what I'm saying, like, you ain't gotta worry about what nobody say, you know what I'm saying, just, like, man, I just do it.
As an engineer, you have to know who you're dealing with, and then you gotta kind of progress too. You gotta evolve, and you gotta evolve just as quick as the music is, or you'll get pegged as that guy that's kind of stuck in the box, or you're the old engineer, or you doing things the old way. So you got to continue to evolve. Like, say for instance, Eastside Shorty. That, you know, it's totally different. Like, the way he do his thing, the way he record, it is totally different. Like, he's probably, you know, and it's not to step on nobody's toes, you know what I mean? Because I do work with a lot of people, but I see a lot of people punch in, meaning they come in, they don't have no content on paper, and they go, you know, bar from bar, or they go 4 at a time, and they literally using the microphone and the booth as they pen and pad, right? It's unique. It's the new thing, and everybody doing that. But Eastside literally does 12s, you know, 8. He'll do a complete 8 and a complete 12. You know, he'll hold his head down for, you know, maybe 5 minutes at the max, and then he say, "I'm ready." Eastside is different. It's just different the way you do it. Like, drop your head for a few minutes, be like, "Come on, I'm ready." Yep. And then the fact that the way you do it is like, it's not like a punch in to me. Like, what I see every day is like 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars. You doing 8s and 12s. I'm thinking for 5 minutes. Like, come on, man, who's doing
I try to do 6 at a time.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
6 at a time. I went to Atlanta, man, when I was working on the mixtape I dropped with Drummer. And I had bought beats from Zaytoven. And shit, we bought the beats, and bro played the beats. I'm like, shit, all right, let me write something to it. And niggas like, hell nah, bro, just go in that bitch and say whatever you. Like, that's what made me first get on there.
Now looking back.
And I ain't wrote nothing ever since then. I just been out the head. 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm through with some songs.
Never use a pen again.
Yeah, I ain't look fat.
Well, bet, man, we gotta tap in soon, man. Lock in and get a session on.
Bro. You already know. I've been down since the backyard days.
Yep.
Yeah, the backyard.
When I first saw him, I saw potential in him. I was like, oh my God, I can do something with this guy. I can do some stuff with this guy. He has friends, you know. I like a guy with friends.
If you can count how many times I have to talk her off the ledge, this relationship would have been over.
I married him because we have a lot in common. We like to do a lot of the same things. We like watching movies. We both like to talk. So that was one of the main things that I loved about him, that he can have a good conversation. You know, you want somebody that you can talk to, and so that's what I love about him. He can have a good conversation.
It's been, I think what's cool about being the, like, Brace making this like a family environment is that I can come be with him when he's at the studio. So I know a lot of people, a lot of women probably struggle with that when their husbands are musicians or artists and they're away all the time. But the cool part about it is I could just come in here, sit down for a few hours. Sometimes we'll have dinner together in here. After you get off work, I'll bring his dinner. We'll sit here, hang out, listen to some music, new artists, and then we'll go home.
We want to big them up. We want to push them to the highest level. We want them to have the best sound. And we want our engineers to be capable of doing that. So we grow and we study, we learn, you know what I mean? And we at BFM Studio, we create a standard that, you know, we want everybody to understand why we doing it. And we want them to appreciate it while we are trying to get to the same place. We all want to be big.
Working with Brace, going to his dorm room in Jonesboro, driving all the way up there and then trying to make it back for class in the morning for school. It was like, it evolved into, okay, let me learn what he doing. You know what I'm saying? Let me learn what Braceface doing. And then I took that and was like, oh, okay, let me go to recording school. So I left and went to recording school in Phoenix at the Conservatory of Recording Arts. And so I just took the steps. You know, I progressed. It wasn't like everything came at once. It was like I just did the steps all the way up until here right now.
Like, really, I just was like just a music person. I always just like listening to it. Like, my stepdaddy used to play all these old records, like when we was young, like Ray Parker Jr. and Earth, Wind and Fire and all that, you know. And then I started, you know, listening to Boosie and Tupac as I got up in age, and No Limit, you know, people like them. But I always been a good writer though, you know, just writing. It was like my coping skill.
From growing up as a kid to growing up, to be able to see the stories in my head, I see the shit before I say it. It's like hard to explain. Like, I could hear a beat and I could hear me on the beat, but it ain't no words on it. So to bring that to life and actually be able to express myself and what I'm thinking and what I went through and what I seen, that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the truth.
I had to be 9, 10 years old. I was riding with my uncle. He had like a 73 Cutlass, old school, clean, all bells and whistles, original. And I was listening to 8 Ball, Almost Famous. And I was like, man, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. So the next day I went to school. I had wrote that night I had wrote his lyrics down. I went to school and recited them on the playground. And, you know, everybody was around me. They thought it was me. So I was like, I love the reaction. So I was like, hey, man, I'm finna do this. This is what I'm finna do. So eventually I started writing my own. Yeah, I've been doing it ever since. Too Heavy coming extremely soon. Me and Trill Loke, like, Too Heavy, you know. 2 of the biggest guys in the state. Arkansas, baby.
Yeah, man, we got that me and this bitch cooking up that Too Heavy. Trill Loke, man, the heaviest niggas in the state, man. We ain't speaking on no money, man. We speaking on just solid foundation. Everything organic, everything for real. Ain't none of this shit here fake made up, man. We can't do no script. No script. Man, we got dang on me. I hit man, I've been hearing C-Mad rap, man, and shit. I like his style, you know what I'm saying? I hit him up on some get on this song. Shit, he hit me back with a song. Both songs with some hits. We like, man, this shit too heavy, man. Hey, man, and he like, that's it, too heavy. We mixtape Too Heavy. So shit, we ran from there. Too heavy. Everything too heavy. We ain't doing nothing petty. Everything too heavy.
Man, lately I ain't been getting no sleep. Like, it's been on go. I've been in here like every day this month. So like, what's today? November what? November 26th. Out of 26 days this month, we probably been here 20. So it's just on go, man. Trying to make it happen.
Trapping and listen to beat. I think my daughter gonna eat. I ain't no sense to compete. Wake a nigga up if he sleep. I get in there in the sleep. You want the beat, we can meet. Catch me at the BP. Chopper make it track beat. Make your whole team fleet. I catch your body and fleet. I'm gone, cuz. You hear me? I gotta go, man. Hit one of my niggas at the tail, man. Gonna lay low, man.
I mean by home, I just go in the refrigerator and get what I want. Just like the crib. How much you gonna charge me for this, Bryce?
It's on the house today.
It's on the house today, see? I got him, it's on camera, that's why. It's on camera. Man, them Capri Suns, that was like 12.
Right now we working on that No Sleep. That's Trill and C-Man. They came together and formed what's called Too Heavy, and it's real heavy, real talk. Like, so everything they doing is heavy, and my job is to just bring that out, make sure they weigh you down.
I've been up for some days lately, ain't been getting no sleep. Dealing with these highs and low, 80-30s got me geek. She act innocent in public, but I know that she'll free. Oh, murder with the mafia, they won't know if you don't speak. Thumbing through some old messages, bitch, how you change on me? When I speak up, nigga, listen, you can't put the blame on me. Been in the trap, I add up inches, you can put the gang on me. Big ol' 40 when I'm in public, bro, don't think it ain't on me. I went from ash to classic, I ain't have shit but pass. Stepped on the floor with greatest. Moving the toy ain't at me. I fuck good on the addy. Trap out the creek, what's happening? Trap ain't doing gymnastics. Work gon' jump out the gym. Pockets was looking real slim, so I ain't know nothing about the trip. I know ass get at the clip.
No rolling for weeks. Trapping and listen to beats. I feed my dogs, they gon' eat. I ain't no shit to compete. Wake a nigga up if you sleep. I get it in the sleep. You want the beef, we can meet. Catch me at the BP. Chopper make you track me. Make your whole team fleet. I get your body and flee. This bitch look
Shit, we gon' go. We no sleep. We ain't getting no sleep. We at the studio every day. We tending to our kids every day. We goddamn be on the road every day. I mean, we ain't getting no sleep, man. It was just that. I think, man, matter of fact, we was in there, we like, man, when last time I got some good sleep? I was like, man, I ain't getting no sleep. Quiz said he ain't getting no sleep. Shit. See, man said, I've been up for some days lately. I ain't been getting no sleep. And shit, that's it.
Up next on Studio Live.
It's not something that you could ever own, and you're not making yourself stand out from anyone. But here you have a place where you can come to, and it's a one-stop shop. You have the ability to come in here, create a song from scratch, and have it be your own, and no one else has it.
And then like the drivers get out and they start arguing and stuff. It was just crazy. But they got back in the car and we left.
Like,
Well,
I kept this relationship.
women have to do that. They have to, put it in their ear like, hey, I will leave. Like, it's no problem. So they can get, do what they need to do to make it right. But anyway, like I was saying, I saw potential in him. And so I made sure that he was exactly what I saw, a man that can get out there and hustle. Like, when I first met him, he had, what was that?
They said turn the phones off.